We've talked to so many incredible women who own birth and baby businesses, and this is what they wish they'd known sooner. Hi, my name's Liz Stanford, and I'm one half of Baba Business, the Birth and Baby Business Academy.
And my name is Anna Lagrange, and I'm the other half of Baba Business, the community membership for birth and baby business owners who want to turn their passion into profit.
Oh, yeah.
So we are talking about, well, there's so much to say for this, but I mean, I think one of the things that people say they would really wish they had realised sooner is that people aren't judging you or even, thinking about you or how you look or how you present things as much as you think. I mean, I think this is just a lesson for life, isn't it? I mean, isn't this the sort of stuff I'm always telling my teenagers who are obviously at that super, what's the word, sensitive time in their life where they just think everything they're doing is being watched.
Yeah.
And I think as we get older, we realise less and less. But when we're doing a new thing, we're putting ourselves out in a new arena, especially if we've got a bit of imposter syndrome. I think we can start telling ourselves all kinds of stories about what other people might think. Many of us are that people-pleasing type personality anyway, so that can add an extra layer. But yeah, the chances are they're probably mostly listening to your message and what you're sharing rather than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when we start out first of all, there can be a lot of hang-ups around like what are people gonna think of me? What are people who are in my life right now who have me in this certain box as this is so and so and she does this and she does that. And now I'm gonna present to them this other side of me, this other thing that I'm doing, aka whatever it is that you've trained in. And what are they going to think? What are they going to say? What conversations are they going to be having that I won't hear? What will they say to my face? How will it make me feel? All of that sort of stuff. We can really judge how other people are going to judge us. And as you said, Anna, it's probably just not true. They're probably not spending that much time actually thinking about you because people have got other stuff going on in their own lives. And I always quote my friend who, this was way before business, and I wasn't even a teenager, but I was a young adult. I think I was probably like 20 or something, maybe 19. And I was having like this paranoid moment, and I was telling my friend, oh, I think so and so's talking about me, and like they're saying about something that I'd done or hadn't done or whatever. And she just looked at me and was like, Liz, not everything is about you. And like, oh, ouch, But it's so true. It's so true. And I
Yeah.
have honestly carried that very cutting but very true remark throughout my life. Like, it is not all about me. They are not waiting to catch me out. There is nobody there waiting and wanting me to fail. And you know what? If there was somebody like that, they're not worth being in your life. They're not worth
No.
knowing.
Or
So
worrying about if it's somebody that you don't know.
yes, exactly, exactly. So, and if you do ever have somebody who is, trolling you, I think that's something that people worry about.
Yeah.
Again, like you can't control like the weirdos on the internet, but you also can't stop them from, you can't let them stop you from doing what you love and what is going to make an impact on other people's lives. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just try to not spend so much time thinking about what other people think of you. The other thing, which I think is what a lot of women, or we know a lot of women wish they'd known sooner as a birth and baby business owner, is saying yes to things, even when you're uncomfortable, because they can lead to incredible things. This is quite a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think opportunities do come our way, and we just sort of think, oh, I could never do that, or this isn't for me, or someone else would be. That imposter syndrome comes up, and we think, oh, this would be, someone else would be better at this. But you got to say yes to things if you're going to grow your business.
Yeah.
And yeah, the more you say yes, the easier it is. And I'm not saying say yes to absolutely everything. Sometimes you want to explore something like a partnership, or someone reaches out and then it's not going to be the right fit. Please don't
Yeah.
find yourselves in situations where you're ending up like, I don't know, helping someone grow their business more than yours, or I don't know, anything like that. Whatever you say yes to. But even if something feels really scary, like let's say somebody is looking for someone to talk on your specialism at a local event, and it makes you feel sick inside. but oh my gosh, you've got to say yes to that,
Yeah.
because you know, it's such a great opportunity. Even if like no one turned up to this event, let's say, just to practice talking about what you do, or just to get yourself up on stage or in front of, you know, even if it was just sort of other birth and baby business owners there, it's going to really help. You know, doing something like that helps so much to grow your business. So you really want to be not just sitting and waiting for opportunities to fall in your lap. You want to be going out there and looking for them as well, even if they make you feel a bit like, oh, I could never do that.
Definitely. Like, I've had so many situations that I've said yes to and then felt absolutely sick, or hummed and hawed about whether I should say yes to it or not, and then let the opportunity like go by. And honestly, it is much better for you to say yes and feel a little bit sick about it and then do the thing, because it's never gonna, we just catastrophize in our mind so much. Like, it's never going to be this disastrous event that you think it's going to be, as long as like you plan for it, both practically and in, you know, in terms of your mindset as well.
Yeah.
Be something that could be really great for your business. But I could reel off two handfuls of things that I've said yes to that I really wanted to just curl up and not do, and got myself sick with worry about it, and then did it and went, oh, that was all right. You know, so
Totally
we,
agree.
yeah, and the impact on your business is greater than that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to do it. And every time you say yes to something uncomfortable, it does become a little bit easier. You still
Oh
might
yeah.
feel a bit sick, but you know that you've done it before, or you've done something similar or comparable, so you can say yes to something else as well. So definitely don't waste or miss opportunities because you feel not ready, or you feel like someone else could do it better. Just do it.
Just go for it. So another thing which I think is quite, well, some people realise this early on, but some people it takes them a lot longer to realise it. When we start our business and we train and whatever it is, we just envisage ourselves doing that and working with families, and we don't realise how much business building and how much marketing and sales we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
You are going to have to do spend more time on marketing and sales than you are with your clients. And I've met people really quite far on in business that haven't realised that yet. But it is, I want to say unfortunate, it's not unfortunate, it's just part of the whole thing. You've got to be able to tell people what you're doing. You need to be visible. You need to be out there sharing what it is you do. And yeah, that's going to take up a lot of time, a lot more time than you ever realised.
Definitely. And I think it helps to sort of reimagine or rethink marketing and sales. And rather than feel like really icky and uncomfortable about it, like embrace it as a channel, like marketing being a channel of helping people understand the impact of what you do, so that they can make a decision about whether it's something that they want in their lives. And then it's like a teaching opportunity, almost teaching about what you do, but also about yourself and your values, and sharing things and creating community. Like, marketing can be fun, and it can be actually, you know, it can be actually something enjoyable, you know, if you let yourself enjoy it. And then sales, instead of being like, you know, oh, I've got to ask someone for money and they've got to pay me, it's more about like, if they don't do this thing, if you don't give them the opportunity to buy whatever service or thing it is that you're offering, then they're not going to experience the transformation that your service or offering can offer them. So like, I often say, you know, it's actually a little bit selfish. It's actually a little bit selfish if you don't kind of rewire how you think about marketing and sales, because you're not giving people the opportunity to experience your offering or service the way that you can do it. And I think that's quite a big thing for people, is to really think differently about those two things. You can fall in love a little bit with those aspects of your business, then you know that's brilliant.
Yeah, totally agree.
And then the next one that we're gonna focus on is, it takes time and consistency to get where they want to go. Yeah, this is so true, right? Because I think you do your training and you think, yeah, I'm just gonna do my training, tell a few people what I do, and then I'll get clients. Like, and I'm not calling people out here. I'm pretty sure that's what I thought was going was
Oh,
going
I
to.
definitely did. Do you remember me with my flyers? I was
Yeah,
like, I'm going to become a lactation consultant, then I'm going to put together an antenatal course, and then I'm just going to put some flyers up in 3 different towns, and I'm going to be booked out. That was what I told myself in my head. It's going to be like people won't be able to resist to book with me just because they've seen a flipping flyer whilst they're trying to pack their
what?
shopping bags in Tesco's, you know what I mean? Like, I actually thought that. It's so embarrassing now to think about it, but you know, I think with most of us, unless you've got a background in sales and marketing, that's what you're going to think. I also have
Yeah,
that, it's sort of a link to the last one as well, is people come to me and are like, well, someone was interested and they didn't book. And yes, that's a conversation perhaps about sales, but also not everybody's going to book who inquires. They're just not. People need
no,
to know a lot of information. They think about things a lot, even more in the current climate than ever before. You
yeah,
know, we are, because we've quite, you know, been in business a while, we know our conversion rates from a point in which people are working towards booking with us and, you know, and making a sale. So it could be, you know, it could be something as good as 50%. We know that for something online it can be as low as 1%. You know, and that's the norm. So not everyone who inquires is going to book with you. You're not going to necessarily know your conversion rates for your stage at your stage in business, but just understand that not everybody who reaches out to find out about your service is going to book. They're just not.
yeah, definitely. So don't be afraid of getting too. I think sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to get too many inquiries, or I don't want this to, I don't have that much time. But that's probably right at the beginning is not going to happen. You have to get out there and you have to share what you do as much as you can, as consistently as you can. And then you'll start at some point getting leads and inquiries, and then it's turning those leads and inquiries into sales. What can happen sometimes is that people do their training, they think, oh, I'm going to go out there and get my clients. They start looking for clients. Months go by and they're like, I still haven't got a client. And then you look at what they're doing, and maybe they're just posting on social media, like on Instagram, and they might, have 50 or 60 followers, and they're like, I'm still not getting any clients, but that's the only thing that they're doing. So then, they've got to be looking at what else can I do? Who are they talking to about what they do? Where are they getting out in their local community? Are they putting up leaflets and flyers? Because that could be part of the strategy as well.
Yeah.
So they have to be really focused on like how many people are actually going to see if I'm doing one post a week on an Instagram only got a few followers. You're not going to get your clients. But if you can be consistently doing a handful of marketing strategies,
Yeah.
at some point, the law of averages are going to say that you will get that client if you just keep going. I really believe that. And often, sometimes when you just want to give up is when you actually get the client. I've seen it happen
Yeah,
so many
just
times.
keep being consistent, keep going back to your mindset work, keep just, keep at it, be consistent. You're going to have to, some of these marketing techniques are really, for the long haul, long game. This podcast is an example of that. Like, this isn't something that we're like, obviously we'd love it if you went and booked with us straight after listening to this episode, but we're like a bit more realistic, and we know that every listener isn't going to do that. So you've got to think long term. You've got to build up a reputation, and if you're doing in-person stuff, that's mostly going to be done in person. So this is actually something we talk about on the membership quite a bit, because we've actually got a whole in-person marketing workshop
Yeah.
and workbook that we did, because we know it's such an important part of growing a business. And I think we can all get so focused on social media. We've got some previous episodes of the podcast about this as well. You've got to focus in person. That is where you're going to grow in the start, especially, and probably always, but particularly that first year.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, if you are struggling with any of those things, actually, then do think about joining our membership. It is £25 a month, and you can cancel at any time. We have got loads of content. We do lots of We give you lots of support every month. There are calls that you can join where you can have your questions answered, where we focus on specific things to help you grow your business. And it's just great having a community, a support network around you as well. So take a look at the link in the show notes and come and join us and see what it's like.
Yeah, we would love that. And you can join for a month or 2 or 3 or as long as you want. We've got members now that we've had for over 2 years, which is amazing. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.